Welcome to the Weather Briefings Winter Weather Preview for December 2014 through March 2015, the upcoming winter season. These are hot off the presses. They haven't even been stylized and made to look nice on the web. These are the black and white drawings, the analysis that we've been doing over the last few weeks and taking in different trends and looking at different potential for the winter season. And what you're going to see here are some considerable swings in both temperature and precipitation throughout the course of the winter for a good part of the country. This very first slide is just an overview of the conditions as a general trend throughout the upcoming winter season. We're off to a very cold start in the northern plains area, into the Great Lakes, and even pushing down into the Ohio Valley. It looks as though we're going to see some moderation in that throughout the coming season. We're probably seeing some of the coldest weather for the winter already here at the start, and it looks as though we'll see a more seasonal moderate type temperature pattern coming in beginning in December and continuing on through with the swings in temperature and the storm systems that will develop as a result of that. We look for the potential for a couple of heavy snowstorms along the coastal areas from time to time, and again we'll break that out for you in the month by month outlooks here that are coming up on the next pages. Here's the first slide for the December temperature trend, and what we're seeing here is a continuation of the below normal temperatures that we've been seeing in November into the month of December. The numbers and the letters that you're seeing there indicate above normal and below normal trends, and the numbers are factors which indicate that the larger the number, the more likely the pattern and the stronger the pattern. So we're seeing through the Great Lakes and a good part of the eastern part of the country, generally speaking, cooler than normal, but not drastically colder. You get up into northern New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, that'll be a trend toward more significant cold air. And we do see a little bit of moderation over the eastern portion of West Virginia, state of Virginia, Maryland. That's toward a normal temperature pattern for the season. The only places that are going to be above normal and kind of warm for this point in December are going to be over the western part of the U.S., the Rockies and the south down into Texas. And matching up the precipitation map here with the below normal temperature trend that we're seeing over the eastern part of the country, we're seeing an above normal temperature, or rather precipitation trend for the Great Lakes and eastward all the way over to the coast. Above normal precipitation that becomes more and more likely as we get on over toward New England, and also the eastern areas in general, the Atlantic coastal area, with a very strong likelihood through the New York City, New Jersey, and down into Delaware and the coastal Virginia areas of above normal precipitation. A couple of storms coming up the coast are expected during the month of December. That will push a lot of moisture and above normal precipitation that way, and you see that kind of feed back eastward into the Ohio Valley and then to a lesser extent the Great Lakes. Jumping into the January maps, we're looking at the temperature trend that kind of does an about face from December, and we actually see readings that are looking to be above average over the eastern part of the country through the Great Lakes, and then even stronger trend for above normal temperatures over the southeast part of the U.S., with the normal conditions over the New England area. But even that is a relative warm-up from the month of December, where everything was running below normal. So for January, it looks as though we'll see some milder temperatures as a result, and the precipitation map that follows will match that up and see what that looks like as far as any rain versus snow type patterns. And the precipitation map pretty much matches up with the December version as far as above normal moisture is concerned. The coastal areas once again seeing a good solid forecast for above normal precipitation, and again that moisture flowing back into the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes to a lesser degree. With the above average temperatures though, there could be some rain in addition to the snow forecast, so it'll be definitely a milder January trend, and still pretty wet with the rain and snow variety coming in throughout the month. Moving into February, kind of an interesting change in the pattern in that above normal temperatures are forecast for a good part of the country from the plains into the Great Lakes area. A good solid above normal pattern running all the way from Michigan down into Oklahoma and then back toward the Rocky Mountains, and above, or rather below normal temperatures in store for much of the eastern part of the country, New England, and again especially the coastal areas from Massachusetts down through New York and Pennsylvania, and even coastal Virginia and North Carolina. So the trend there with below normal temperatures, moisture would be much more likely to be in the form of snow, and we'll see how that matches up with the next map. And once again, the coastal areas appear to be above average for precipitation in a pattern that doesn't really quit as far as the flow of moisture is concerned. It does look to back off a little bit. We won't see quite as much moisture back into the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, where it looks to be a pretty average February as far as precipitation goes. Another big change, though, is off in the northwest, the Pacific Northwest. A large area of moisture is expected to be developing throughout February, and generally speaking, above normal precipitation pretty widespread all the way through the northwest part of the country into the Rockies, and eventually trying to push into the northern plains. And moving on into the March outlook and the end of winter, we do see quite a shift in the pattern yet again. The temperature pattern changes quite a bit in the northern plains, going from above normal in February to below normal by several degrees during March. And we see the shift over on the East Coast and the eastern part of the U.S. away from below normal temperatures and back to normal to just a little bit above. So the winds of change definitely take place in the second half of winter, and we get into March, and some very significant cold air begins to come back in from Canada into the northern states. And as we looked at in the February precipitation map, with all that moisture out in the Pacific Northwest, it definitely makes its move into the Great Lakes area. A very strong likelihood for above normal precipitation in the month of March, and that combined with the below normal temperature indicators seem to lay out a pretty snowy month of March for the Great Lakes and into the Ohio Valley. Although temperatures will be not quite as cold off to the east, we do also see above normal precipitation expected once again. So these could be heavy wet snows or a rain-snow mix perhaps over the coastal areas as we get into March and we start to see winter winding down. That wraps up the overall outlook for the winter season and the month-by-month look at the slides. We'll have this available for you to reference throughout the season. I wanted to take your attention here to something new that we've added for the upcoming season, in that we're going to be much more mobile-friendly than last year's layout was with the web. We're going to be able to provide a service that allows you to pull up your information not only on the website at your desktop, but also when you're out on the road and doing the plowing and the maintenance. We've got a version that will work well on your tablet or your mobile phone, and this will be pretty comprehensive information-wise. We're going to include radar. We'll have some video that'll be available, as well as the current conditions, the warning information, all the information that you've gotten in the past and will continue to receive. It will be available now in a mobile form. We look for this to roll out within the next few days, toward the end of the month. We're doing some fine-tuning, but overall getting ready for the season. And once this is rolled out and any bugs are chased out of it, we will make this the actual desktop application as well. The platforms will reverse, if you will, the reverse responsive mode, and what you see on the screen here will also be what your desktop website will look like. So we'll be going to the one platform. And again, it's pretty easy to navigate, pretty self-explanatory, and we'll have all the detailed information in there. Appreciate your time and taking a few minutes to check out this winter weather preview and the things that we have coming up. Please contact us if you have any questions, and we will be in touch very shortly with information as far as your passwords and information on the mobile access as well. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.